Hey there, everybody. Happy August. Happy summertime. I hope the lake is cool, no mosquitoes, the pool water's clean, cocktails are flowing, your family's loving on you, barbecues are lit. We are excited about our guest today. We have a great conversation around a really important topic and a really important group doing some big things out there. So without further ado, let me make some introductions here. Coming in for her third, 1, 2, 3, count it, third appearance on our broadcast from Westphalia Produce. Please, everybody, welcome Raina Nelson. And our rookie in the bullpen. We're bringing out some heavy hitters. Bottom of the ninth. We need a little gun coming out of the bullpen right now. And here visiting us as well to talk about SEPC and all that's going on, the incoming chair himself, the man, the myth, the legend from AWG. Please give it up for Tim Graas. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
See, look, we got a good introduction rolling already. We're feeling good. Raina's already laughing. She knows this is going to be off the rails. Here it comes. But wow. I'm thrilled to, yeah, well, don't worry, Tim. You wait till the end. Like I said, judge us at the end, not at the beginning. I'm super thrilled you guys are here. I'm excited to talk about Southern Innovations and talk a little bit about what SCP's doing. I mean, I'm such a fan of the work and, not only the work as an organization, but the community-driven work that you do, the way your missions and values are on your shirt sleeves. I think it's just so incredibly important. But before we get started, I'm going to shut up for a minute, which is not very common, and let you two tell everybody who you are. Tim, you get to open it up since you're the newbie here. Let's see how well you do the first time on screen. Don't screw it up. No pressure, Tim. Nobody's watching. You're only on in 48 countries. Don't worry about it, brother. There's no pressure right now at all. You got this. I feel it. Tell everybody who you are, brother.
No problem at all. I got this handled. No problem at all. So, Tim Graas, I oversee the produce procurement for all 8, soon to be 9 divisions at Associated Wholesale Grocers. We supply somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,200 grocery stores, independent retailers throughout the Midwest, basically. My career kind of started back in Denver. I was born and raised in Colorado. Started at King Soopers when I was 16 as a courtesy clerk, and my dad got transferred to Springfield, Missouri, so I had to go because I wasn't old enough to live on my own yet. Dang it. But landed in Springfield, and I was fortunate enough to be able to for my dad to tell me, hey, you don't have to work. We're going to pay all of your expenses. We're going to let you go to whatever school you want to go to for college. Piece of cake. And I got bored about 3 months into my senior year of high school and went to work at a grocery store in Springfield, Missouri, and I stayed. So
usually how it works, isn't it?
I stayed there for 23 years, worked basically every department in a grocery store and managed several grocery stores. Then decided it was time for a change in 2005 and came to work at AWG. Been here ever since. And I guess that's basically it. So,
nice. Did you take your dad? Did you still take the money from your dad?
No.
I would have totally pimped it out for the money. Like, hand it over, Pops.
If you don't do it now, you don't get it.
Oh, God, these parent rules. Raina, please introduce everybody to yourself if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. It is an honor to be back for the third time.
I know. I love it. Third time is a charm. I mean, I gotta haven't screwed up. I mean, I love it.
So fun. Always a great time. But I'm Raina Nelson, currently president and CEO of Westphalia Fruit US, and been in the produce industry my whole life, as I like to say. I was born into it, Central Florida citrus grower family. So that was really impactful on me as far as instilling work ethic and all of the great things that accompany the produce industry. But I went into a little bit different field at the beginning of my career. So food science and post-harvest physiology of fruits and vegetables. So kind of nerdy, but very necessary. And it's really afforded me an interesting career path. So I started out in food safety and quality systems at Del Monte Fresh, and then joined Robinson Fresh and ventured out into kind of the business management portion of the business, and really felt, really enjoyed it. And then went to fresh cut processing with Renaissance Food Group, and was for almost 10 years. And now found a home at Westphalia Fruit and avocados. Exciting stuff. It's a
great category.
It is, yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. It's a great category. Well, I'm excited once again, to say that you guys are here and we're going to talk about SEPC and what's going on and specifically Southern Innovations. But of course, I got other questions first. You got to imagine I'm not going to get to, you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. You're on film. You can't get up and walk away. People go, wait, where'd you go? But nonetheless, what's exciting is that, Raina, you are finishing up your tenure as chairman of the board, chairperson of the board. I keep screwing that up. I got to get to the times. I know it. Chairperson of the board. And Tim, you're stepping in. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first, Raina, I'm going to go to you. You're leaving. You're stepping down. Share with me a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, because you've done some great stuff, and I think it's worth a call. Talk about some of the impactful moments and accomplishments, memories, and of your tenure.
There's so many, and it's been such a privilege. I remember my first SEPC show years back, and so to have been chairperson this year has been extremely special to me. And I wanted to make sure that I gave it my all through my chairmanship to make sure that we're future-proofing the council and really leading some strategic initiatives that will take us into the next 10 years so we can continue to add value to our membership in innovative ways. And some memorable moments, certainly Southern exposure. It was electric this year.
It was crazy.
It was so great. We had record numbers, and the connectivity that it brought was nothing short of incredible. And of course, I think one of my highlights was to interview Tim Tebow, a fellow Gator.
Yeah.
As our keynote. He was incredible. His heartfelt message about living a significant life and really contributing really synced with what SEPC is all about. And then my platform as chairperson, see, there I go.
I know.
Was the next generation of superheroes. So making sure that, hey, now is the time to invest in our future. And Tim Tebow really tied that into, my theme. And it's been an incredible year, but I would say Southern Exposure event has taken the cake thus far.
I love it. All right, Tim, you're up next. Now I heard a rumor, Tim, you got to clear this up. I heard a rumor that people, when you become chairperson, look, I'm just doing it just because I'm trying to work at it. People can't make eye contact with you. Is that true? Is that part of the right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking. I heard a rumor on the street. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll get back to it. We'll just skip. We'll skip the question. We'll go back to it at the end. We'll see how it works out.
That's partially true. That's partially true. Since I'm on this, it was my rookie. I had to sign up with the Screen Actors Guild. So
and you'll get a big check for them. Trust me.
Yeah, people have to go through them first to talk to me. But no, seriously,
layers are good. Having people is a good thing, brother. Having people is a good thing. I love it. I'm excited that you're coming in. I know you are too. Tell a little bit about what's up next for you. What are you looking forward to as the incoming chair? And do you have a theme figured out? I mean, do you have some thoughts about what you want to do?
I do have some thoughts, yes. And there's really two things that I'm looking forward to. First is the theme. And my theme really kind of started a couple of years ago. I was doing some reading, and this article that I was reading, part of it really hit me like a ton of bricks, and it stuck out, and it's been stuck in my head ever since. And that is that the world population by the year 2050 is going to be somewhere in the range of 10 billion people. It's a little under 7 today, 6.5, 7 billion today. And by the year 2050, which is really, really close, we're not going to have enough food on this planet to feed the world population.
Nope.
And to me, that's very, very, very concerning. When I think about my kids and their ages and what they're going to be in 2050, and man, it's really scary to me. And I think of a quote from Wendell Bailey that, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children.
Yeah.
And that really kind of hit home with me as well. So the theme is really going to be surrounding what are we doing as an industry, try to open some eyes, some thought-provoking stuff, some earth-shattering information of, hey, this is what's going on in the world today, and here's some innovation surrounding what's happening in the industry, what we're doing about that, from water supplies in California and Arizona to regenerative ag to food waste to all of those things that we as an industry need to be looking at to improve the future for our children and their children. And I'm as guilty as anybody. And, I get my head down in my job and I focus on that. And I don't ever stop and look up and say, hey, what's going on? And what what are we doing here and how can we change some things to make things better? And so I really hope to accomplish that this year and open some eyes and get people to think and realize that, hey, not one person or one company is going to be able to make the changes and do what's needed for the future. And it's going to take all of us. So that's kind of a lot.
I love it. It's a huge, but I'm telling you, it's a worthy agenda and I commend you for it. It is a very, very big subject that we don't seem to be talking about enough. No. You know, when you think about some of the stats out there, to your point about how we're going to feed, close to 10 billion people in a very short period of time. The issue around only 40 years left of topsoil, the farm on, the issues around water, especially in this fine state of California and others, food waste is, another big topic of concern. I share this stat all the time and it popped into my head, but, food waste in this country is the equivalent of every single American throwing away 650 apples all at one time. It's a really big number when you take 330 million times 650. So you're right. I think these are some topics. I'm glad to see it. And I love the fact that SEPC is about these topics and about raising the bar and about opening this up, because you guys have a huge voice in your organization. People listen to you all across the country and abroad. And I commend you for it. And I just make a pledge to you right now, whatever you're doing along those lines, this platform is yours at the disposal. My team's at your disposal. Let's get this message out. Let's keep ringing the bell, because we have got to do this if we want to win the day for the kids and the kids that aren't even here yet. That's what we got to be thinking about. Right. What are we leaving behind? So I think it's awesome, dude. I really, really do.
Thanks for joining the Todd-versation. And now a word from our sponsor.
Hi, this is Samantha Rodriguez, the marketing coordinator at brighterbites. Thank you for listening to Todd-versations. At brighterbites, we are rooted in the belief that if we give our kids something better to munch on, they will. With your support, we will continue to improve the lives of children, their families, and our communities across the country. By providing the finest nutrition education strategies and amazing fresh produce, we are growing our mission to create communities of health through fresh food. Join brighterbites in celebrating our 10th birthday. We are helping to create healthier habits for families across the country, one bite at a time. Learn more at brighterbites.org. Don't forget, the better we nourish, the brighter we flourish.
And Raina mentioned future proofing. If there's anything that needs future proofing, it's that. It's industry and sustainability and all of that. I don't pretend to be an expert on any of it, but I know that there's some issues out there that we've got to address, and we've got to start addressing them now. So, with things like CEA and some of the robotics that we've seen recently, there's a lot of cool stuff going on out there, and we need to spread the word on what's going on out there and collectively make things better.
Love it. Kudos, man. Super exciting to hear. Really super, super exciting to hear. I cannot wait to see this unveil itself and these conversations to be had, because to your point, man, they are incredibly important. That's awesome, man. That's really, really great. Tell me a little bit, is there anything new and exciting? You got a little tidbit you can drop on me, either one of you, about what's going on at SEPC? What do we got? I mean, is there something there's got to be something you can share that nobody knows? I mean, but they don't know the eye contact thing. They know that now. And by the way, I want some credit to Raina. You brought up Gator football, and I did not jump on the bandwagon with anything about SEC football today. I didn't say a word. I wanted to be props that I gave you some grace.
You didn't. You have behaved in that aspect.
I know, but I did want to bring it up because that's just as good as saying something. So I'm done with it now.
That's fair.
Okay. But anything new and exciting? I mean, I know we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff, but is there anything that sticks out that you're really thrilled about?
Yeah, I think we're certainly thrilled about Southern Innovations. We have been so not that we're not always passionate, but I think we've been very, very intentional about doing what Tim just shared, seeking out those subject matter experts and expanding our limits. So the only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. So we want to make sure we're looking out into the future and bringing in those subject matter experts, even outside of the industry, that can stimulate how we solve these problems, how we can contribute. So we're going to have some incredible thought leaders on innovation as our speaker lineup, which we'll talk about I think in a little bit. But
no, we're going to go right. Let's go right now. Let's keep going. Let's dive into it.
We are thrilled about that lineup for sure.
Well, there's no doubt. So let's talk about it real quick. We'll jump into Southern Innovations and coming up September 22nd to the 23rd. I am literally standing in the foyer of the Opryland Resort right now in beautiful Nashville. Two things, one of which, this hotel is crazy huge. I mean, it's crazy huge. And if you've never been to Nashville, go. This is a work your boss. So get the expense account, make it happen. Go to Nashville. I mean, the event is amazing. Nashville's such a great place to host it, though. What a fun city. So let's talk a little bit about Southern Innovations. You touched on it a little bit, Tim. I'm going to go to you on this one first. What is, Southern Innovations all about?
It's really, we've evolved over several years on the platform itself, from organics to food service to all kinds of different things in a way. But it's really to a point now that we have, in my opinion, really hit the nail on the head. It's going to be primarily surrounding innovation. Both it's from the farm, from the plate, for the earth, and in the store. And we're going to have innovation surrounding all four of those different areas, and speakers that can speak to different innovations in those areas. We're still going to have the same intimate setting that we have in every show. That's going to make it really, really awesome. A very good buyer to seller ratio. And it's going to be an outstanding show. But the fun side of it is the Saturday following the show. That's pretty exciting too. There's a golf tournament, there's skeet shooting, there's a city tour. And then in the afternoon, we're talking about college football. That's the ultimate tailgating experience that you can't miss that. That is absolutely a blast. We bring in some tailgating type food, put TVs in the corners of conference rooms, and we watch college football until we get sick of watching college football. And
is it just all SEC? Come on, is it just all SEC football? I mean, do you have other games on, for God's sakes?
No, you would think it was, but we do have the ability to put some of your stuff on there too, if you want.
Just in the corner.
Yeah. Guys that aren't watching SEC, you guys are out in the lobby bar on your own. Goodbye. Be gone. Yeah, I know how it works. I know how you guys are in the Southeast. Don't worry about it. That's I play in jest. No, not at all. Not at all. Talk to Raina. I think something I'd like for people to hear, because they, you think about Southern Innovation, Southern Exposure, right? And it's two really different shows. It's a kind of a whole different track in a lot of ways, is the way, I guess, best way to describe it. What's the difference between the two, or what makes Southern Innovations different than, I guess, Southern Exposure?
Yeah, I think the difference is we really hone in on innovation. Innovation can mean different things to different stakeholders in our industry. So again, we've been really thoughtful about making sure we identify those four sectors that you see in your backdrop to really bring ideas and possibilities to our different member groups, and really making them interactive and bringing them to life. So we've got a few new innovative ways to present this material out on the floor. We've got our innovation stage where we will have kind of smaller breakout sessions throughout the course of the day of the show, but we've fashioned it after a silent disco. So you will get earphones and be able to listen to these speakers and kind of cancel out the show floor noise. So that was really neat to tie that in.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
It really is. And then we'll be able to feature some interaction with the companies that are presenting the different types of innovation after they present. And for the first time ever, in one of our educational sessions, we're going to have a leadership lab where it's going to be an interactive session and energetic first thing in the morning. Sometimes it's always a little hard to set the tone for the day. But we have Laura Juarez, who is founder and partner in the 10X Leadership Lab. And she's incredible. So I would definitely encourage everyone to make sure that they make that session. And then we've got our keynote, who is going to be super energetic. And he's a Navy SEAL commander and New York Times bestselling author, worked Denver. He's going to share a lot of riveting perspectives and lessons learned on the battlefield that we as individuals and to our companies can perform at higher levels. So really great lineup.
Have you heard him speak before? I have. He's excellent.
Not in person.
Yeah, you're going to goosebump. You're going to goosebump.
I can't wait. I watched a lot of his YouTubes, and it's great.
Yeah, you're going to goosebump on him. He will hold the room, and then he decides to flip the room to this hand. The room will just go like that. He'll be awesome. What about any other speakers? And you guys fight for this double question here. Anything else in the educational track or speaker wise you want to call out? Just draw attention to.
We're going to have Anne-Marie Rohrink there, doing what Anne-Marie does best and showing us the consumer behaviors and all that stuff. Her presentations are always very, very interesting, especially at least from my perspective and maybe from the retail side of the business, because she brings to light a lot of things for retailers that they may have not otherwise thought of, and different perspectives than different things to try in their stores. And we're always open to those kind of ideas.
Oh, she's great. She is a wealth of knowledge. There's no two ways about it. She is dialed in when it comes to thinking about, what people think, how people move, act. It's cool. That'll be certainly worth listening to as well. I think it's exciting. I mean, and you touched on it a little bit, Tim, and I want to come back around to it with this question. Raina, you and I have had this conversation about technology before, and emerging ag technology and stuff. But just to go off the reservation of the SEPC front, got to get my acronyms together. Share a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, about how much attention, and Raina, I'll throw it to you first. How much attention do you pay on new and emerging ag technology, and why is it so important to pay attention to it today?
I think it ties back to the stat Tim threw out. We've got to find different ways to grow and distribute our food.
Right.
We've got a White House conference this year for the first time in over 50 years that's focusing on nutrition security. So I think that just that in and of itself is really elevating the need that we've got to figure out how to solve the nutrition and food security issues that we are facing today in order to feed the world. So we realize that, and I think that's a big driving force of what we're going to continue to focus on in the council for the coming years. I know my company is hyper focused on it as well. Trying to really even develop climate-friendly cultivars of avocados as an example. But I think it's very, very important that we continue to seek out solutions in the ag tech and innovation realm and apply them to agricultural solutions. Labor's constantly an issue. So we're very excited that I think a lot of these, again, subject matter experts, we've identified, and we're bringing them to the conversation in Nashville.
I love it. How about from like the AWG side, Tim? What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, I know, and you guys are so diversified. I mean, you do a whole lot of stuff in your organization. It's got to be a big part. I would imagine you have a wing of some building with a whole bunch of really smart people that are figuring stuff out like this.
Yeah, and that wing's not sitting in this room.
I'm just going to let it go. I wanted to jump on it, but I'm going to let it go.
To answer your question, yeah, we do pay attention to that. And living in the world of independent retailers, they tend to look at us as big brother, quote unquote. So, when it comes to what's new out there, what's the new technology, what's the new items, what's coming down the pipe, what do I need to watch out for? They look to us to be the experts in that field. And Southern Innovations is really, that's the essence of what that show is. It's about innovation. And that's what the focus is. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything on our end, similar to what we do on the council, to be in front of and always be aware of what's new and exciting out there.
I think it's so important that there's a place for people to go to get that understanding. I mean, I just having spoke just recently at a conference, so much of innovation, we look at innovation as like, well, what's it doing for me today? And I think we've got to get around the mindset. It's like, it's not necessarily what it's doing for you today. It's what they're discovering today that's going to matter in 5 years that we don't see, that we've got to really invest in. I think it goes back to my old adage about what's a positive cost of food, and innovation is a positive cost of food, right? It helped tell me how we're going to do 9.8 billion people real quick, right? So I think it's important to have a platform like this that you've created is just really special. I can only encourage, everybody over and over and over, and we'll continue to drive that message home, but go to this event and get around some of these minds and some of these ideas and see some things that maybe trigger something that you had not even thought of. It's like, oh my goodness, what a difference I make in my business. And this is a great place for that to happen. Yes. Super, super exciting. I love it. I appreciate it. But I want to shift gears really quick. I have to, Raina, you know where my heart lies on this. We're going here. It's mandatory with every conversation. But we're going to go back. We're going to go back to Southern Innovations. Don't worry. But I can't let this go off the table. I want to talk about Southern Roots because I think it's just such a great event, and I'm such a fan of it. So first of all, if you'd be as kind as to tell everybody just a little bit about, what is Southern Roots?
Of course. And Southern Roots will be at Southern Innovations. But Southern Roots is the council's female forward platform that places great importance on developing, connecting, and providing tools for the females in our industry. And we create a strong circle of support, fresh educational offerings, and some impactful value no matter what season of your career you may be in. So we're a tribe. We have each other's backs. We really try to, again, welcome all females in all walks of their careers to make sure that we are providing that connectivity and that impactful just interaction in the females of our industry. So really proud of the work that the Southern Roots Committee has done here. We just announced some new committee members. I think we released that last week. So very, very excited to see the continued creativity and innovative value that this committee is going to continue to bring to this platform and program.
I love it. Tim, you coming in now, the new chair, and this has been running for a while now, but from your perspective, why does this matter today? You've been in the grocery business a long time, and it's I think more important today than ever that we continue down this track and we continue to empower and to bring conversations to the forefront that maybe certainly weren't around 15 years ago. Guarantee you that. But why does it matter?
Well, I think that answer is fairly simple, honestly, and it really gets to the point that as an organization, the SEP values equality and understands the importance of female forward leadership in the produce industry. And this is the perfect place to do that. Southern Roots has been around for several years, and it's grown exponentially every year. And it sells out every year now. And it's just a really awesome place for women to network. And everybody should be taking advantage of it, honestly.
I agree. No, I really do. I think you're absolutely right. And what a great place, especially for young people coming into this industry that, are looking for mentors or looking for a path or looking for a way to network, looking for a place to find comfort. Getting out into a big environment, when you're still a little bit green behind the ears is really, really intimidating. And it's hard to find that voice and to be able to be uplifted by your peers, to feel a sense of camaraderie, a sense of safe, feeling safe to listen and learn and to find those friends. You may find somebody that's an apple shipper in Washington and you ship whatever out of Georgia, and all of a sudden you're lifelong friends and you go back and forth with what's going on in the world. That's so important. So to me, I commend you guys for doing it. I'm just such a fan of it. I just love it. And I just appreciate you guys continuing that effort because it's so incredibly important. So we got a lot of Southerns going on here. We got Southern Roots, we got Southern Exposure, we got Southern Innovation. So we didn't really get too much into Southern Exposure, which is coming up in March. We want to throw it out there. That's the big workhorse right there. That's the show of shows. I mean, that's the one anybody asks me where, give me a list of where to go. That one's at the top, like go there. That's the one to start with, because it's such an impactful experience. Shows coming up in Orlando in March, right? Any insights, anything you guys want to share? Tim, you guys fight for this question. I have to arm wrestle. Let's see it.
Well, I guess I'll kick it off. If anybody ever wonders if they need to go to Southern Exposure, my answer oftentimes is, have you seen that movie where the line in the movie is, it's the Catalina wine mixer?
Yeah, it is.
It's Southern Exposure. You got to go.
Yeah. So, it's supposed to be an F-bomb in front of Catalina wine mixer, but I'll let you go. You can say it here. I don't care. Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you. My virgin ears appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes without saying. I get more people tell me that that's just the best show in the industry. And maybe at least I'm a little bit biased, but
well, your incoming chair, you got a little pressure on your back, but if it tanks out, it's on you, right? I mean, right, Raina, is that what you expect? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, 100%. No, but you're right. I say it all the time. It's right because and I think what makes the show so unique, and I think what sets you apart is that you guys leaned into the intimacy part of being a show. You ain't leaned into the part of not being so big and obnoxious that you can't function. And you can't get, time and being able to, we've been around a long time. How many times you stood there and there's 4 people behind the person you're talking to? And it's like, your eyes are darting like you got ADHD and you're all over the board. You can't figure it out. And it's tough as hell. It really is. So I'm glad to see that the show is so successful and it's so important for people to attend and be a part of.
And our focus obviously next year at SC is going to be, is primarily going to be around innovation. We're still going to have the same intimate setting. The same awesome speaker lineup, the same everything, if not better. My goal is to do better than Raina did last year. I don't know if I can.
Bar's pretty low, babe. Bar's pretty low.
Yeah. When I
I'm
found
so
out,
glad she can't hit me through this camera.
When I found out that I was going to follow Raina through the executive committee, I thought, oh boy, I'm going to do that, but.
Yeah,
so I'm going to give it my best.
She's a hell of an opening act. I've got to tell you right now, she's done some great lifting in her tenure and has done some great stuff and navigated some tough times.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. SEPC does so many cool things. I love the morals and values play. I talked about it before. It's just getting to know, you all and getting to know David, getting to know people on this. I mean, it's just a great group of folks that are really committed to doing big things for all the right reasons. And I think that's, there's a lot of people out there do big things for not the right reasons. And this is a group that does big things for the right reasons. And that's why I'm just such a huge fan and such a big, supporter and loving having you guys come on here to share with people.
Thanks for joining the Todd-versation. And now a word from our sponsor.
Hi, this is Samantha Rodriguez, the marketing coordinator at brighterbites. Thank you for listening to Todd-versations. At brighterbites, we are rooted in the belief that if we give our kids something better to munch on, they will. With your support, we will continue to improve the lives of children, their families, and our communities across the country. By providing the finest nutrition education strategies and amazing fresh produce, we are growing our mission to create communities of health through fresh food. Join brighterbites in celebrating our 10th birthday. We are helping to create healthier habits for families across the country, one bite at a time. Learn more at brighterbites.org. Don't forget, the better we nourish, the brighter we flourish.
When I think about Nashville coming up, right? September 22nd, 23rd, people book your tickets, get online, go. It's a month away. Get out there and go. Nashville, guarantee you it's a great time. It's a great event. But when you think about this, Tim, I'm going to throw this question to you first, and Raina, I'm going to give it to you as well. When you think about this event, why should folks attend this landmark event coming up? I mean, what is kind of the call to action, for lack of a better word, but why should they go? If you could frame it up a little bit.
In my opinion, and speaking from a retailer perspective, it's an outstanding show. First off, I mean, that pretty much goes without saying, but it's a really, really good opportunity to get out and build upon relationships, do some business, have a little bit of fun, and learn a ton.
Love that part at the end. Right.
Yeah.
Raina, how about you? What do you think?
I would add to it, sometimes it's hard to measure an ROI of a show. How many people do you send? What's your return on investment? What is the true value that you're going to bring back? And I can guarantee that you'll realize an ROI for this show. Same as Southern Exposure, but really focused on the innovation, and not only from a professional level for our companies, but also just from a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much in there about leadership and networking, and we all have a responsibility to help each other in the industry. I think that's one of the underlying fundamentals that we share at SEPC. So how can we help our members? How can we help each other to continue to drive the community, the networking, the innovation, and the education? That's what we really focus on. So for those 4 elements, you're going to find some really, really rich content that is going to drive yourself and your business forward. That's why you should attend.
Yeah, I love it. You said something I want to come back around, and you talk about ROI. I've sat in these meetings. I've been around the bush a long time in this industry, as we all have. And everybody's like, oh, what's the ROI? Got to spend this, And you go to a show like this, and everybody says the same thing. Meeting one person's all I'm here for. Mm-hmm. Getting involved with one thing. It's like this, you get their rationale. And that's really a lot of what it is. When you have an opportunity to have this kind of a forefront of information, you get 5 things, gold mine. You get one thing. That's a good thing too, right? And I think that's what I love about this show, is that it brings, a potpourri of information that can cross over no matter what part of the business you're in. There's something going on at this event that will touch people all throughout, your org chart. And I think that's something you've got to look at. It doesn't, people are going, I need 15 deliverables back on this thing. It's like, no, you need one really good one that can change the world. And that's what the show like this is about. And that's why I love it.
Yeah, agreed.
I love it. So give me okay, so here we go. Tim, I'm gonna go with this question for you, since you're the incoming chair, chairperson. Woo, 2 for 2. What's next? What's next for SEPC? Anything that you want to throw out that we haven't covered? Raina, I'm gonna give it to you too, so you can just throw him under the bus. Don't worry.
Sure. I would say that that's probably one of the other things that I'm really excited about for next year. With Raina's leadership, we've put a pretty good strategic plan in place, and there's some really, really cool stuff in that thing. It's going to make us better. It's going to make our shows better and overall better. And I'm really anxious to continue to see that strategic plan through and continue to build upon it.
Nice. Do you get like a lounge chair now that you're done, Raina? What do they give you? I mean, do you have like a special seat now in the boardroom? You just sit there and people fan you and you just like clap your hands and things show? How does that work? What happens now?
Well, Tim does tell you, he's like, you can't just leave. So I think one of the things that I'm excited about is there is so for the outgoing chairperson, we've created an ambassador role, because we realize that 1 year is just so short. And I think that's what I'm really excited about, is to make sure that I can continue to provide support, to make sure Tim's chair year goes outstanding. And we've really set up, again, a 1, 3, 5, 10-year strategic roadmap that is solid. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of a little bit of a culture shift, I would say, maybe. But as we've gone through it together, I think it's really set the foundation of something it's going to absolutely future-proof the council. And to have gone through that together, as this executive committee has done over the past year, it's going to be really sad to leave, but leaving it in incredibly capable and talented hands.
If Tim screws up, I'm sure they'll ask you back quick. Don't worry about it. Just saying. But you make a good point. Vision work is a big exercise. It's it is, but vision work also does help drive culture, and vision work does help drive change. Mm-hmm. And where you want to be and what you want to do. It's an interesting process. So I'm excited to see what you guys got rolled up your sleeve. and see where this organization goes, because it's already great. If it's going to become greater, it's like, oh boy, okay, cool. Right. I'm fired up for that. So I think it's wonderful. I really do. Well,
and not losing sight of where, like, our founding fathers and, you know, our you know, what we're built on. So
yeah,
the heritage of the council certainly is going to continue to shine through. That will not change. The fiber of who we are and what we stand for will certainly continue to ring true to, again, the first years when there were just like 10 people at the show. So it's been a really fun exercise to lead and to go through. So
I think it's awesome. I'm excited. Looking forward to it. Again, Southern Innovations, Gaylord Opryland Resort, beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. September in Nashville, going to be gorgeous. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. September 22nd to 23rd, or 24th rather, excuse me. Get online, Google, find it, get it, buy your ticket, get on the airplane, zip over there, have a good time, open up your heart, open up your mind, learn something, see something you haven't learned, and let's go figure out how we're going to feed all these people by 2050. Because we got a responsibility that everybody is on everybody's back. And I think it's a really neat opportunity. I thank you both from the bottom of my heart. Much love from me to you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me and sharing your message once again. And I'll see you guys soon. I know that.
Yes. Thank you.
Raina, and then Raina, you can punch me for my wisecracks. She's going to come up behind me and just sock the hell out of me. I know it. It's all right. I have it coming. I'm okay. It's all right. But you really don't, because I didn't do any gator jokes.
You did not.
I did not. I know. You know, I'm turning over a new leaf.
Oh, that's so nice.
No, don't read that much into it, Raina. Yeah, don't read. Come on, thank you for the encouragement. Don't read that much into it, for God's sakes. I appreciate you. Everybody, check it out. Get to Nashville. Check out this show. You're going to have a great time. You're going to learn something, and we can make a difference in this world, which is exactly what Tim said we need to do, and we do need to do that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to check it out on social media, where all the cool kids are. That's where we are. And we appreciate you subscribing and listening, and all the people around the world that are enjoying this broadcast. We really do appreciate it from the bottom of our heart for making this happen. Here we go. We're rocking and rolling. We're not going to slow down. So we're going to keep information coming at you like we're doing. So thank you very much for being with us. You guys, again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I'll see you soon, and take care.